This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf, and it's available in print in 14 states at your local cannabis retailer and also available worldwide online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, show number 289, with my co-host Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's AJOG.
Hola, aloha, OGs.
And Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
In the sphere of fine art, glass blowing has become one of the most tantalizing mediums for collectors worldwide. And when it comes to the niche of functional dab rigs, one company hovers over the crowded but legitimate landscape. This is Mothership Glass V2.
Beam me up, Scotty!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take me home to mama.
Our first segment, Mothership's Genesis. We're going to hear about, how it all came together. It's the beginning of a real bellwether company. And in our second segment, the Class of Glass. It's a double entendre, by the way. You'll find out why. But before we get educated, we've got to get medicated. So let's get stoned.
Please.
All right. Been waiting for this one for a long time. And wherever day has led you, now it's time to fire up, chew up, or drink up. Get in the mood as we introduce this show's Greg the Guinea Pig.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Greg the Guinea Pig. Who's our guest this week?
Greg the Guinea Pig warning. These tasks are undertaken by experienced cannabis users and under the supervision of accredited professionals. So please take our advice and definitely try this at home.
Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Scott DEPPE is a master glass blower who is one of the two founders of the world-renowned Mothership Glass Company, and we're huge fans. And Scott is here to gift a very special product on us. Scott, thank you so much for coming back to the Leaf Life podcast.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, brother, there he is.
We're about to have some fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead
Thank you,
and
friend.
spin that wheel, AJ, and let's see what we're going to be.
And now, what's in AJ's stash?
All right, y'all. Are we going to be kicking it off with the concentrate or the flour?
The
We've got both
concentrates,
today.
because Scott's going to unveil something very
Of course.
important to the Leaf Life podcast.
So get the batter up. So this is a Mad Mark concentrate.
Yeah.
Scott, can you tell us a little bit about this concentrate?
Make sure that,
He brought it, no?
No, yeah,
Sorry.
it's whatever.
No, I did not bring this one.
Well, but Mad Mark, his product won a recent competition. Scott did bring a massive nug, and you know what? It's fitting that Mad Mark would be the featured product on this show as we unveil a brand new dab rig from Mothership Glass, because Mad Mark has been in the medical game. He's good friends with us, Wes particularly. He's been a supporter of the Leaf in the past, so it is rightful that we feature Mad Mark's concentrate on this show. And what strain is it?
That's the Mad Lemons. Diamonds and sauce.
Nice.
Gorgeous, you guys.
Okay.
Very soft.
Mark also has a Mad Gelato,
Yeah.
but I always say I'm not mad about it when I smoke
Speaking
that.
of gorgeous,
But this musty buffalo, this flower is like, it's. I mean, it was definitely the best weed at the 710 party. We just did Mothership Meltdown and had a bunch of our family up and crew, and it was amazing. And this was the best weed there.
The most impressive, huh?
I mean, smoking wise, and like his vision, like this packaging is like amazing. Like the nug is untouched. Like
what do you
it's
call
on the
that?
plant. I don't know.
Is that a bubble, Wes? A glass bubble?
It's a cloche.
I mean, it's like it's a little glass dome over the nug. That's
Well, the more special than that glass dome is something Scott's about to unveil. We haven't seen it yet. We knew it's coming. And this is a dab rig that he's about to give to the Leaf Life podcast, and every dab moving forward on the show, and we're at 289, will be dabbed out of this special rig.
nice.
Oh, very excited. Let's see it, Scott.
Bless up.
Now, if you're listening on Spotify or Google Play or off of the leafmagazines.com website, you'll want to switch over now. Wow.
Wow. Look
To
how
YouTube.
beautiful.
My God.
It's beautiful.
The unveiling.
Oh, Wes. I want to cry right now.
Little mini SFT.
It looks like
Straight
a moon.
back.
Look at that on camera, huh? Take a picture, Kelsey, so we can post this on social media.
It's gorgeous.
So that's it's like a hybrid of our straight fab and our Taurus, a little straight fab Taurus. So it has all the.
It's exquisite.
How do you get the colors in there? The green and the lime. It's just gorgeous.
It's exquisite.
I've lost words, which doesn't happen.
No, that never happens.
Frosted glass in the middle. It's purely a Mothership design. There's no mistaking it. It has the Mothership insignia on the side. It's
cool.
brand new. Is there a banger with it? Because Wes, you're about to do a dab out of this gorgeous piece of fine art with a big old fat banger right there.
Finally, I'm not the only guinea pig.
Should we give him the dry dab or should we put water in it?
I think we should do a dry dab, right, Wes?
We definitely need the water, and it really looks like a moon. I see like a moon at the top.
It's
I love
textured
it.
too. This frosted glass is textured. Scott, will you put the water in it?
That's one of the most
I'm almost
gorgeous-
scared to hold it because these.
That's one of the most beautiful
are so
dab rigs.
special.
It's yours now. Don't be scared.
Don't be
scared.
scared
to hold your baby.
Don't be scared of it.
I know, Scott, you see this every day and it's, kind of compulsory for you and you grind these things out and you've been doing it for so many years, and we'll get into the genesis of how Mothership came to be with your vision. But for us, my friend, this truly is a work of art. On the level of a Chihuly piece, who's one of the most amazing, probably the most well-known glass blower in the world. But this, Chihuly doesn't blow glass dab rigs. Functional dab rigs.
That's gorgeous.
Look, Scott's testing it. He's got his lips on it.
It looks like a moon. For me, like the design has a moon feeling, like a moon texture.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that this if there was a black light, it's got the Illuminati and some other colors that all
bust
light.
out the black light.
The black light makes it pop. It's glows under the black light.
Wow.
All right, Wes is gonna take our first dab off of the Mothership chalice.
This is very ceremonious. Now, if you're listening, just bear with us, please. I know it's difficult because this is more of a visual show. But for us, at show number 289, I don't know if there's been a more meaningful moment in all of the hours, all of the work that we've put into making this show special. This is truly us arriving at a place where we're legitimized by the world's greatest functional dab rig glass blower sitting across from me right now.
Really cool.
He's getting the turpometer out, and it's almost like receiving an Academy Award.
This is a celebration.
It feels very much not only just a gift, but like an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, that's
That-
beautiful.
Yeah, this is celebratory all the way.
If you got the best podcast, you have to have the best glass that you're smoking.
My gentlemen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good stuff, my
Goodness.
friend. No one could have said it better.
Yeah. He's got the spoon he's making with the turpometer.
Yeah, we're celebrating hitting 1,000 followers too, which is really awesome.
True. And Scott's going to administer this dab and get it to the perfect temperature, Wes.
I'm so excited.
Wes is glowing right now. He's got... Yes.
Oh yeah, we're doing the Mad Marks.
He's got a Grassroots California glowing T-shirt as well as a hat on. I think he's going to turn iridescent after he does this dab.
What strain is that again?
That's the Mad Lemons.
Mad Lemons.
Yeah, brother.
Nice.
By the way, Scott just got back from Europe, and he attended the Mary Jane Festival in Germany. Now, Germany is the first country in Europe to actually legalize cannabis.
Wow.
And it's kind of a wonky system already, and it's got to mature. But he spent some time there. He was in the Czech Republic, and he was investigating and experiencing cannabis cultures all over Europe, and he came back with a beautiful tan, by the way. So
Yeah, you did.
I assume you went to Saint-Tropez as well,
I
Scott.
can take that to Barcelona Beach is where that happened at.
Good on you taking some of our American culture
Yeah.
to other countries. I appreciate you representing us out there, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a
I
turpometer.
don't-
So it's gonna flash a green. There's a little screen
Yeah.
that'll kind of tell you when it's in the zone, as well as a digital display.
The zone of what?
The heat temperature.
Optimum flavors.
And what temperature do you have it set at?
The OFZ is what I call it.
What temp is it at?
I mean,
And here it goes. Is there a cap for it?
yep, he's got it.
He's got it. There's the first.
Oh my God. What?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That is a bearded Lorax
That's a glop.
Snazzleberry glop.
Look at that
Yeah, that's a
diamond
glop.
in there. That's a.
Now,
wow.
just
God.
Look at the bearded Lorax go, you guys.
Jesus.
This is the party drug side of the cannabis.
We've gone beyond medicine.
I love how your whole
thank
outfit,
you, Wes.
Wes's whole outfit matches the rig,
It does.
Oh, he planned it. He
this
planned
is
it.
beautiful.
Ooh. Oh, honey.
Yes,
Oh, my goodness.
get it in. You guys, we're all sampling today.
I don't know about that.
Ooh,
It's
yummy.
the only way, Mary.
Wow.
We've got to
We have
embrace
to-
the chalice.
Okay.
How is it that the dab
This is a
tastes better
blessing.
out of a beautiful rig?
Imagine that
It's
we're
so smooth.
Rastafari women right now, and
Oh,
we're
okay.
taking the chalice with
Okay.
our wives.
Now I'm
and-
gonna do something that you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I want for people to have some sort of reference point in understanding that dab rigs have a great value monetarily. Now, last time you were on the show for the Mothership Glass Show V1, Scott, you brought a Grateful Dead piece that you collabed with a Japanese glass blower, and that rig was valued at about $100,000.
What?
Yes. I think,
Wow.
Scott, that you told us that you guys put 3,000 hours?
No. That was-
300 hours? I remember that number, 300
yeah.
hours. Which obviously gives it value. And when you have a master blowing or two masters, obviously that value escalates.
So it's art.
So what is the value of this beautiful rig? And you don't have to answer that because it isn't about the monetary value at all. This is a special piece that, you know what, the Leaf Life podcast will have forever.
Yes.
And Wes and I will have to fight over when the Leaf Life podcast dies.
It's never gonna die.
Priceless, bro.
About 15 grand.
$15K for this piece.
Dude, exactly.
There you go,
Wow.
Mary.
That's
Can you
fine
believe it?
art
Our
that's
friend,
gonna
thank
appreciate
you.
over
Yeah.
time.
Yes,
So let's talk
absolutely.
about the genesis of Mothership Glass. Scott, the story that I heard was like you guys were in Bellingham, you were unknown, you were blowing glass in the woods, right? Until something happened, some kind of catalyst happened to where you started getting more professional, I think maybe more intentional with your art form. And one day it happened for you and things turned around. And was it the acceptance of the glass industry at that point? Or was it just people, modern, everyday, ordinary people saying, oh my God, this is flawless and perfect and it deserves to have recognition?
Well, I had already, so I had been blowing glass for probably 13 years or so before I started Mothership. And thanks to cannabis, I was able to not have to make the spoon or not have to do the production. It enabled me to just
Delegate.
to be able to make what I wanted, and then it enabled me to be able to sell a piece and not all right, this is $1,000. If you're not willing to pay that, I don't care. My bills are paid already. Yeah. And so it gave me this freedom to get really good at blowing glass because I was just doing whatever the next new thing was that made me feel good and made it not feel like work, And so then I just did that and there was I just started getting more and more orders and I was just so back. I could see that I could sell 10 times the amount of glass that I could actually produce. And
there was a demand for it.
And there was a demand for it. So, and I had, I think it was 2007 or 8. I did this collab with Ivan Barrow and it took us almost a year, and we made a little bit of other things along the way and stuff. But
this piece took a year.
Yeah, I mean we were making other things,
back and forth,
and it was two of us. So well, that's 2 years then, really, Sure. And so it just showed me, and then I was like, oh my God, how many years do I have? And if I'm doing this by myself, well, that would have taken that. How many pieces, how many ideas could I actually get out? Yeah. And so I really realized that I needed a team in order to get all my ideas out and be able to take this, because each idea kind of is born out of the last one, you know, and so you got to finish that, and then you learn all these things, and it inspires you to go in different directions and stuff, and then so each one's building on each other. So the more of those that you can have, the more progression you get, and so
Speaking of the master, did you study the master? Speaking of inspiration, you know, a lot of times, you know, you learn from people that came before you. I mean, every piece of music now is, you know, learned from the Beatles. Before that, it was learned from Mozart. Melody began there, right? But being at the top of the heap, you had to dig your way up or climb your way up that ladder. Was there anybody that you could look to? Was it, you know, the guys down in Eugene, Oregon, and did you just step your game up? And Snodgrass, you know, Jason Harris is a good blower as well. And this was in the early 90s.
Yep.
You're talking about finding your voice at 2007. Who were your inspirations?
I mean, honestly, so I was collecting, once I fell in love with glass, I was collecting Deline, Clinton. They were actually boyfriend, girlfriend at the time, which is so funny. But they used to date way back 25 years ago. And so I was getting these cases of glass from my friend Traveler. I didn't even know them, but I was getting their work. And I would pick the nicest piece out, and then I would sell the rest of it to pay for that piece. So my glass collection was growing. And then he also knew... back then it was Eric with an A, but AK or Absolute Crunk, or he's going by some different things now. And so, but he was, it was Eric with an A back then, and I was collecting his pieces also before he had ever even made a bong. He had never even made it, so it was like dry pieces and stuff. And so I had a really cool collection of this stuff, and then Marcel. I had a couple Marcel pieces, and so that was like really like my inspiration when I first started. I was like, I literally imitated like each one of these. Like I only made like one or two, but trying to be like, okay, he's doing it like this. How did he do that? Here, like trying to figure it out and be like, all right, you know, 'cause it's like my very first pipe was actually like. I got the AK piece sitting there, and it was like a little inside out, squiggles and dots and like chaos pattern, some millies and stuff. And so I was like, all right, well, I want to like, this was the coolest thing in the world to me right now. I want to like see how to make this, you know? And so like, well, there's millies in there, so I got to make some millies. So before I made a pipe, I like made some millies.
What's
and so
a millie?
It's
anybody who knows glass knows what a millie is, but it's like a string, kind of a bit. Well, I'll let the expert explain.
It's basically like, imagine a glass rod that if you slice off of it, it would have a little pitcher in it, and if you keep slicing,
like
it's the
candy.
same thing. Yeah, exactly like the candies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you see like a Simpsons face or a little mushroom or like little elements on a dab rig or on a pipe, that's a millie.
Yeah.
And a millie can kind of
the
make...
flat little pitchers, you know, but the really mini ones, because we start like one of the big things that I started doing was like we call them disc flips or fillas, and that's when you're actually taking little small pieces of glass and drawing the picture. So you only get one. You only get one of those. You know, the millie, you have like a lot of this, and you chop it up, and then
slices of pepperoni.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys started etching.
Yeah.
Is it etching on there, or is it? I mean, so much of this had to be invented during your time, and it's kind of like the leaf. It's like we went from, you know, weed in Ziploc bags and brownies with XXX written on them to like test results and packaging and confidence in consistency. The same thing with dab rigs. There wasn't. I mean, recyclers had to be invented. You know, the banger had to be invented.
Everything, all these colors,
all these pieces.
all these colors and shit did not even exist in the beginning. It was so rudimentary. Like now, like you can start blowing glass and they will like give, here's a tubing with like, you know, whatever lines you want. You want Rasta tubing and like, you know, wig-wag it up or whatever. You just buy that stuff now. Like whatever, a lot of the colors you can just like buy them now. It was not that way back in the day. Like the color was so hard to work with, and it was it was shit. It was so there was so
kind of like the weed.
Oh, it was so bad. And so and that was one of the things, like in the beginning. So if you really look at the beginning of my career and you look at all the glass that was produced in like those years and look at everybody's glass across the thing, and what you'll notice is that the color is one of the things that really was setting me aside, because it was like doing this prep work and figuring out how, you layer these colors up together and then they produce this color, and then you like
a
do
painter.
Exactly. And so that was the thing, and that was extremely hard to do. It was extremely hard to do, and so to even get it to the point where these kids are just getting it handed to them now.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing that set you, like if you could do that, it set you apart in the industry. So it was weird. So there was all these things that was totally setting me apart in the industry, but only because like the industry hadn't really caught up to how new it was. It was just like nothing had been done. There was just like so many techniques and so many different things, and it's just like you think of something and you're like, oh my God, nobody's ever done this before, and now you try to get in it and do that. Oh my God, it's like everything's been done, and so it's so crazy. I feel very fortunate to just the timing of everything was just so perfect, because I was just like in my youth and just like so jazzed and pumped, ready to work and just like do it, and it's just like it just such a good time. I feel blessed to watch what happened there, and with the weed too, it just like being able to like see, because I knew it was going to be legal, and so I pretty sure it was going to happen in my lifetime, but to really like see that like come full circle and just like really be like, just because I just knew in my heart, and I'm just like, my heart is not fucking lying. It doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. Your heart doesn't lie.
That.
And the first time I smoked weed, I was like, there is no motherfucking way that this shit should be illegal or that will be.
When you're an artist, there's no lying, bro.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, we feel very blessed to have you here, and for this special piece for the Leaf Life podcast that we're going to take so many dabs on.
I know. We like heated it up and I didn't even hit it again.
So I could talk to you for hours, bro, and listen, to you in your journey. Because, look, it's similar to all of us in this industry, right? Not everyone ascends to the level that you or the Leaf has, but everyone's in it, I think, with the right intentions. At least our tribe is, So learning those skills early on and then being ahead of the curve, because by the time you've got it mastered, the young dudes are learning it. Did that allow you to then venture into other unexplored territories before anybody else did? As he's firing up another dab.
Absolutely. The thing is we all get comfortable in whatever we're doing, and people are like, oh, I want more of that. I want more of that. And you're like, oh, and you're feeding them more of that. And so people like doing the same thing as you start it like, I just want to do something new then. So it always I wanted to do something new. Oh, now you're doing this. Well, I'm doing something new.
Got a little chip on your shoulder.
Well, you're the leader.
No, you want to be the first guy.
No. So the first time that you do something, it does this other thing inside of you, and it doesn't even feel like work. And all of a sudden, hours are gone, and you like have this beautiful thing in front of you, and you're like, don't even know how it happened. The 10th time you make that, I mean, even the second time, even the third time, it took longer. It was not as fun. It was not Tingly. As fun. It was not as, and then all of a sudden you make it enough times and it becomes work.
So true.
And so if you're just doing that unknown and exploring that new stuff, then it just never feels like work,
exactly. And that's what drives you to continue creating. And now you get to travel the world and see other cultures and get more experiences, and you're still young. Dude, so I look at you, you've got another fucking 30 or 40 years of glowing glass. Did I say glowing glass?
I think so.
Yes.
I did. All right, it's time to get down. Now, Scott, it's time for you to play more stone than the Stones.
Oh,
Few
boy.
people have done more hard drugs than the Rolling Stones.
What's the secret?
And lived to tell the tale.
You take one of these, you smoke a little bit.
This is more stone than the Stones.
Wes, this is no longer a Leaf Life podcast. This is a sesh.
Apparently.
It is. You know, you got to get them in between.
The only one in 200 episodes, right?
To almost 300.
Hey.
We don't break format very often,
No.
and I think the last time we did was with
I
you.
got you guys to smoke last time. Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't come on the show if you didn't smoke with me.
Fair,
Like,
bro.
you know,
Dig it. No,
Hey,
I
he's
wouldn't.
Mothership. He set his standard.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
Hey, when the alien says they're going to beam you up, you're like, I'm on for the ride.
It turned into a sesh. And hey, you guys listening, look, we apologize for breaking format, but you got to understand, sometimes we go behind the scenes, and that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
You're tuning into a sesh, man.
Hey.
Now Scott's hitting that beautiful rig.
What are the little balls inside that chamber?
That's a turp pearl.
Okay.
Those are opals. They look opal-esque, at least. Am I right? Yeah.
Those are opals.
Blessed. He
So
blessed us with opals.
the turp
you
pearls
guys.
disseminate or distribute the oil in the banger, so you get, a better full-bodied hit.
Okay.
It helps wash it up onto the sides, and it holds some heat.
Does it add terpenes?
Yeah, and it
You
holds a
gotta
little heat.
spin it
Those little
around and hit
buggers.
that little
Yeah.
hole on the top.
Mary's doing a dab.
It's too much equipment.
Way to go, Mary.
I don't like equipment.
All right, here we go. Scott, you ready? We all know that Keith Richards is a big
Bomb.
partier, but just how big of a
It's a good
partier? True or false? Number one, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. They just toured.
Yeah.
In his autobiography entitled Life, Keith admitted that he ground up human bones and smoked them. After, he said it was terrible and that it smelled like burnt hair, gave him a really bad headache, and made his eyes red. True or false?
True.
That's false, actually.
It sounds
It was Marilyn Manson who did it.
All right. I was like, I think I've heard that before.
Exactly. All right, number two. Admitting that his decadent lifestyle was geared around going to bed at 7 a.m. and getting up at 4 p.m. to begin the day with alcohol and drugs, Keith has said that he has a videotape of a day when he wore only a blonde wig with a Burger King crown and a paper towel tube around his private parts and walked around like that in broad daylight. True or false?
Like in public, or
Yes.
Sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's a shame.
false?
Oh,
It's false. He's right.
fake? Really?
Well, it was done. It was just Marilyn
Yeah.
Manson.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Fine.
It's all making sense
I
now.
see. Okay.
And number three, Keith no longer drinks alcohol. True or false? He's thinking hard.
Boy, this is a big one. Whoa.
Matt Marks.
I think he still drinks.
True.
It's true, kinda.
What?
Right answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At 80 years old, Keith announced that he has stopped drinking. Kind of. He'll have a drink occasionally. It was time to quit, just like all other stuff. He says he quit smoking cigarettes in 2019, gave up heroin in 1978, and quit cocaine in 2006. He says,
Wow.
I'm trying to enjoy being
Revolutionized.
straight. It's a unique experience for me. Do you think he smokes weed?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Especially out of a mothership piece, brah.
Indeed.
Well, if you want to discover cannabis news, reviews, entertainment, and culture, and explore every Leaf magazine at your convenience, search leafmagazines.com. Coming up in our second segment, we'll dive into the class of glass, and we'll get another spin of AJ's wheel and kick it all off with another episode of Who Does That with Mary J. White. Leaf Life continues in just a moment.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.
Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.